the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Good friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe. Let the happiness take you in.
Yo, everybody, welcome to the Super Fast Tortoise Show, where we got the flow. Everybody got to go to the Super Fast Tortoise Show. What's up? Oh, I know I'm lame. But hey, welcome, everybody. We got Hillbilly, Hellwheeler, and KJ today. And man,
good morning.
Yep, good morning, Hillbilly.
Good morning.
So how many calls did you reject today for your supermodel gigs?
None yet.
All right, KJ, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing all right. For everything that is what it is, I'm doing pretty good. I'm still alive. I'm not pushing up daisies as of yet, and that hole that they're telling me to dig, I refuse to dig it. So
that's right. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
That's right. And Hellwheeler, hi. Hey. Look at you. Hope your cats are keeping you good company and the coffee is fresh.
Oh, they do their best as always. You know, just sat in the middle of a I think you call them a highway.
You know, I think I got an idea for you, right? So you need to make a cat bed, right? And in the middle of the cat bed, you need a coffee cup holder that holds your coffee cup inside, and you then you have a little mechanism like a kid's what do you call those things? Like mobile? Like you get a mobile and you put catnip on it. You put your cats in the cat bed surrounding your mug, and you turn on the mobile with catnip, and it turns around. And the cats will follow the catnip on the mobile, and the static electricity to build like a turbine will keep your coffee hot and fresh.
Good idea.
You realize cats look at cat beds and go, dude, why did you spend the money on this? I'll go sit on this piece of newspaper or in this cardboard box.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, sometimes they use the cat bed, and maybe just use the cardboard box in this idea.
Yeah.
But look, that's a energy efficient, fun way to keep your coffee hot is have your cats work the turbine system, you know?
Oh, currently I'm in the reuse part of. I run out of cat food, wet cat food, but it's all right because the box seems to have refilled itself with a cat. So I'm guessing I'm just feeding cat to cat. But hey,
see, KJ comes from a different universe, right? Not a different universe, a different timeline. His timeline is putting a peanut butter sandwich facing the opposite direction on top of a cat and dropping it to make an infinite energy system going on.
I thought
dropping the cat or the peanut butter.
Well, no, you put them together. You put the peanut butter sandwich, or maybe it's jelly, and you tape it to the cat. And see, the theory is like the piece of bread always falls face down, right? No matter how you bring it, it goes face down. And the cat always lands on its feet. Now you put the bread on the back of the cat, and the cat's feet are hanging down, and the laws of physics say the peanut butter side will face down, and the cat lands on his feet. It will instead make an infinite energy system because the cat can't land on his feet and the bread can't land on his face. That it makes an infinite energy turbine of superpower.
Are you trying to destroy the world by creating a paradox?
Maybe.
Because that will absolutely be the cause of world destruction, and we cannot create a paradox. I won't let you create a paradox. Personally, I'm not sure if my timeline and your timeline are part of the same part of the multiverse, considering I'm broadcasting to the past. I could be broadcasting to the past of another timeline altogether. And just for in case, I don't want you to destroy my timeline by creating a paradox, having a cat with peanut butter and bread flipping continuously, because therefore gravity will never happen, and neither will the feet of the cat touch the ground or the peanut buttery side of the bread. Why you would want to waste peanut butter, I have no clue. I mean, peanut butter is good for two things, and that's sandwiches and putting on a spoon and having a dog lick it.
Oh yeah,
that's what you use peanut butter for. I think the number one purpose of peanut butter, and Hillbilly can back me up with this, is to give to your dog and watch him lick for 5 minutes straight.
Yep.
That's right.
What's the point of doing it if the owner's not sitting there watching you?
Right. Well, yeah. Well, I know I'm trying to come up with energy sufficient ideas that will work for both of you. I mean, look, I'm such a nice guy, and I'm like thinking how ways you can keep your coffee warm or create unlimited energy. I thought it was a great idea.
It is.
I have an easy way of keeping my coffee warm. It's called I drink it, and then my body keeps it warm. That doesn't deal with the hole in the cup problem that means that the coffee keeps disappearing.
Right.
Oh, I don't have a hole in my cup. I just don't have a cup anymore. It turns out the guy who looks exactly like me tends to drink my coffee.
Oh, the guy that looks exactly like you. Your doppelganger.
This guy have a whole body and hands and everything.
No, he might. I don't know. I haven't seen him. I just know that when I asked where my coffee was, you drank it. I saw you drink it. No, I swear I didn't drink it. There must be a guy living here who looks exactly like me, who happens to be in the exact opposite room than I am at every moment of the day. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't know that he's there or not. I just know that he looks exactly like me.
Right. Really quick, let's catch up on chat and say hello to people in chat. Like we got Elijah Castle. Hey.
What's up, Elijah?
Elijah. Howdy. Elijah is going to be one of the guests for my birthday roast.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I need to start working on that.
And if you guys want to be a guest on my birthday roast, or you want to send in a 2-minute plus video of you roasting me, feel free to send that to either Jesse or myself, or ask Jesse or myself to be make available for my birthday on July 2nd, Wednesday at 7. Sorry about the shill, but got to get people to do the roast.
Yeah, everybody come join the roast.
You can't leave it just for the Brit to do the roast. Well, You've had a jolly bad year this year, now haven't you? What a terrible man you've been.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be very roasty.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty much. If we leave the roast to just the British, I'm pretty sure. What is that? A jar? It looks more like a rubbish bin. How quaint!
Yeah, there. Do clean your jar properly.
Oh yeah, you put the jelly on the crackers and you dip it in your tea. That's part of the British version of I'm sexy and I know it. He says, I got a passion in my pants and I'm not afraid to show it. In Britain, it's put jelly on my toast and dip it in my tea. Yeah, I'm British and I know it. Do.
It's really strange to dip jam in my tea.
It's extra flavoring.
Just stick get a nice rich tea biscuit. Just dunk it. Just don't dunk it too long, or else you're going to need to sieve your tea because you're going to have little bits of.
Wait, hold on. Tea biscuit? You know how hard it is to shape a biscuit into the shape of a tea?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's. Having maybe an O-shaped biscuit. But a tea biscuit?
Yeah. Oh, we got Lone Wolf. Lone Lone Wolf.
Lone Wolf.
Yeah. And thinking about T-shaped biscuits, the best thing about T-shaped biscuits is you kind of play Tetris on the cookie sheet when you put them on there.
Oh, yeah.
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 Ooh, we got Cane Shaker. Cane Shaker. What's up, morning coffee people?
What's up?
Ooh. And we got apparently the queen, Lulu.
Lulu Sky.
Woo!
We got a new avatar picture. Digging it. Digging it.
Digging it. Dig it. Yeah, 'cause I know why you dig it. It looks kind of like you guys, you know? It looks familiar.
You know,
Like a
we
friend.
first of all, it's Cat Girl, and it's just a head. You know, all the cool things on the bottom right there.
All right. Then we got let's see. Whoa, I try and keep up. Used to Schrodinger's cat, now it's Smucker's cat. That's right. The cat is both buttered and not buttered. That's right. We got Dre Games. Dre Games. Hello.
Hey, Dre.
Hope you have a good F&M today. Oh, not F&M. Pre-release this weekend. Yeah, that's what he's doing. That's why he's not on the show today. He's got pre-release this weekend. He's gonna play some Final Fantasy and paper.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, Dre. Like, I know it's spelled differently, but every time I hear or read the word Dre Games, I'm thinking Dr. Dre. you know the doctor of rhymes.
I've heard of this Dre
Yeah.
of the Doctors.
That's right. That's right. Dre Games, what's up? And we got from the multiverse traveling in to say hello for a while. We got Mana Monk. Whoop whoop. Mana Monk, what's up? Whoop whoop. Hope you're having a flugler. Hope you're having a fugler kind of day today. Whoop whoop. Yeah, man. And I believe we are caught up in chat. Whoop whoop. And Mrs. Hillbilly, what's up? Mrs. Hillbilly.
Mrs. Hillbilly.
I didn't see you beat up Mr. Hillbilly today. Something wrong? You feeling sick? Like usually pre-show, you come in and you pound down and leave a couple good bruises on Hillbilly, you know? Today's just not one of those days. I mean, look at his face. Look at Hillbilly's face. It looks untouched and unscathed. You might have to go to the hospital, see what's up.
On my way there.
All right. Whoa. Check it out. So, today's a chat and chill day. It's a fun day, and I was hoping the cat stories would like liven people up, loosen them up. The Schrodinger's cat, whatever. The peanut butter cat, the cat turbine. You know, don't get me wrong. Not all my jokes are feline funny, but I could try.
Well, I'm feline you right now. Oh. You know, Tortoise did leave out two important cat things. First of all, I woke him up at 6 a.m. this morning, Central Time, with a picture of my cats being peaceful for once.
What are you talking about? I don't understand what you're talking about.
You don't? No, yeah. Look, he's so fat he can't even sit on the sill. Look at Q. He's gotten so big. He's doubled, almost tripled, quadrupled in size. And mind you, he's still got like half-size legs, and he's much bigger and taller than 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he went from a cucumber to a watermelon.
And his big old fat behind can't even sit on that windowsill. As you can see, based off of the little rip in the little cubby thing that I have underneath, he fell through a couple of times.
I mean, you gotta be careful here. You're saying that word, and normally when you say that word, it does the opposite and turns your cats into feral creatures. So you may have just jinxed your afternoon now.
That's so funny. Q is so adorable looking. That little watermelon of a Q. He's a cutie pie. Yes. Trust me.
Can you believe we named him here?
If I ever met Q in person, he'd probably get like a ton of hugs and snuggles.
Oh, you'll enjoy that. He acts like a dog. Okay, so I have this little Nerf dart gun. You know, you put the little Nerf darts in there and you shoot it. He'll go and fetch it and bring it back to you.
Mm-hmm. Woo! Manamonk subbing his friends. Hey, sub to Drake. Says Manamonk. Whoop whoop. So cats are so adorable. Cats are obviously the superior animal for pet owners. Dogs, they lick your feet. They beg. When you pick them up, they tuck their tails, cover their junk. Cats don't give a damn. They either want cuddles, food, or sleep. And if you don't get any of them, they turn into tyrants to show you and put you in your place. They're the true rulers of the house.
No, it's a fact. I think Seven is still queen of the house, and she's very spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
Like after she uses the litter box, she'll come up to you and make you follow her to the litter box. I went clean it now. Well, we already cleaned it this morning. We'll clean it tonight. We'll clean it now. She's very spoiled. It has to be cleaned right after she uses it.
Right after, and look, she gets out of there. She like straightens up her bow tie, stretches her legs, lifts up her butt to stretch her back, and she's like points at it, and she's like, now.
It's a fact.
Have you thought of just not indulging her and telling her, no, you will wait until I am ready to do it?
She's thought about not indulging me and several times.
No, like you got to show that you're the alpha head, the alpha cat here.
That's not how it works in cat world. Tibalts Apprentice, you're wrong. Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Colonel Sanders, dogs are the best. That's a Happy Gilmore reference. Oh. Whoop, whoop. Well, I was about to click that. I said, we got Dre Games in the house for a minute. What's up?
So sorry I'm late, guys.
Very good. I didn't expect you to come. I thought you were going to go prepare and get pumped up for tonight's game.
Yeah, we thought you were on your way to the LGS to make sure you grabbed a few extras for your deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went through the spoilers this week, as you guys know, and I already pre-registered in store, paid cash last night, so I have my receipt and we're all good.
Good.
Oh.
Good. Hell
Just
yeah.
in case you have to return those cards that didn't work out. You know what?
Exactly.
These cards did not work in my deck. We're returning the entire pack.
Yeah.
I wish you could do that.
Well, hopefully we get a good box today. Hopefully.
It's going to be awesome. But hey, I actually had a topic idea that I wanted to talk about. Nothing magic related. And I thought about this before KJ and I got in this conversation behind the scenes, right? I actually thought about this. And in fact, it kind of drove my conversation with KJ earlier.
Oh, yeah. It was a good conversation. I wish you guys were there.
Mm-hmm.
We wasted content before the show.
Oh, yeah. Well, it wasn't wasted content. I don't think some of the stuff would fly on YouTube.
No. Some of it won't fly on YouTube, but
That's right. But what I was wondering is, what are some movies that were considered bad that you loved? Like someone said that movie is just trash, and you're like, but I like that movie. Like, let me give you an example. A movie I liked a lot and people trashed on it was X-Men Origins Wolverine.
That movie was good.
I like the X-Men's Origins Wolverine. And now everybody had the problem with Deadpool. I had the problem with Deadpool. But here's the thing, right? It was one of the situations where, once again, they were trying to reimagine something for film, and they tried to also merge Deadpool in with like 5 different characters, and it didn't work very well.
Let me be honest with you. When I first watched that movie in theaters, I did not know who Deadpool was. So I literally thought that Deadpool was badass. And maybe as another character than the Deadpool we know was badass.
Well, it was. I actually enjoyed it, though. I mean, my favorite part it was that last second when after Deadpool's head's cut off. Spoilers if you guys haven't been around for the last 20 years.
Right.
But when he cuts off Deadpool's head and it flies down and his Cyclops vision is through the nuclear power plant, then after everything's all rubble and you see his face and his eyes open up and you're like, yeah, that's right. There's going to be a Wolverine origin sequel. And then once again, Marvel dropped the ball on something that I wanted.
It was a great character. Like, I love the design. Even though his blades were impossibly long for his arms. But like, I love the design. I love the creativity that went into it. But like, not knowing who Deadpool was before then, I did not have an expectation. So I enjoyed the flick. You know what I'm saying? Now I know who Deadpool is, and I'm like, well, I have it's weird because I have a little less appreciation for Deadpool now that I actually know who Deadpool is. But like, he's still a good character, you know. But like,
well, see, the thing is while it was a flop, in the lines of being a good movie, that was actually a successful movie in dollar prices that came in because it made money based off of the X-Men title period. People were going in to see Wolverine, so they made a lot of money off of that movie for the time when that came out. The big issue is that it just wasn't it fell under the same problem that every comic book movie will always have. It's not the comic book, and that's not me complaining. That's me quoting everybody else in the world who's ever talked about Wolverine Origins. And it was a flop in the sense of people liking it when it first came out, not a flop financially because it made a lot of money.
You know, it was a flop during that time. M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender.
Yeah, it was, but
it was
also a lot
movie.
It's got a cult following now.
Yeah, it was still a decent movie. Like, I watched it without knowing who Avatar was. I honestly thought it was supposed to be connected to the Avatar movie with the blue people. Then when I watched it, I'm like, was this like a millennia ahead of time?
That's why they removed Avatar from the name of the Last Airbender movie. They didn't want it to be confused.
Right. And so, but like, look, I enjoyed the flick for what it was. Like, look, here's the problem with today's world is we're fed so much information about movies nowadays. It's disgusting. I know more about Doomsday than I think the creators know more about Doomsday, right? Doomsday, the movie, right? The Doomsday coming up. And holy cow, I'm getting tired of all these spoilers. Like, do they think I'm not going to go watch the movie if I don't know this stuff?
Well,
I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, come on. The best news I got, the one thing, like, if they ever spoiled one thing, and they spoiled this, but if they just spoiled one thing about the movie that I love, is they spoiled that Dr. Doom in the Doomsday movie is going to be related to the death of Junior's scene in Infinity War.
Yeah, it's they're gonna tie it in somehow, but they have also admitted that they're taking like 5 different storylines yet once again. So I will reserve judgment until after I see it, but I'm gonna be honest with you, as a Marvel fan, this is fanboy talking, not legitimate guy who has using common sense. This is fanboy coming out now because they're taking 5 storylines and merging one. I have no faith in it, to be honest with you. And it's going to make a lot of money because it has the Marvel title. It's going to fall into the same situation that every Marvel movie, that even the ones that sucked, had. Now here, there's a lot of good movies out there that flopped and became cult classics, like Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Its budget to film was $60 million. All right, they only brought in a box office of $47 million on Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It is now one of the biggest cult classics out there. And Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the reason why I bring that up is because it is a comic book movie. Scott Pilgrim versus the World was a comic book first.
Yes.
And
wasn't it a web comic?
It was a web comic that, and then it got picked up, now it has graphic novels and a whole bunch of stuff. And even now that Netflix has picked it up for an animated feature, I believe they're going to go into a second season soon. But Scott Pilgrim versus the World, 60 mil, but it only brought in 47 mil globally in the box office. And you know, I mean, we're talking comic book movies. Comic book movies typically don't hit the financial bring in that you'd expect unless it's a big name. Wolverine, X-Men, Marvel, DC. Those movies, even if they suck, they're going to bring in more money than it costs to make. With the exception of Captain Marvel, the Marvels. Horrible.
So what Elijah Castle says, the Punisher Warzone movie, he said, I thought was a great
movie. Oh yeah,
really good movie.
To be honest, the Punisher Warzone movie actually hit closer to the comic books than anything else that they did with the Punisher.
I really love the Punisher.
I really like the Punisher and Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah.
I want to see more of them.
The Punisher and Daredevil Born Again was really good. I think that they're going in the right direction in order to make the Daredevil series work. And I do appreciate that they kind of are picking up from the Netflix original series that they did. Now, I would like to see them to bring back Jessica Jones. I'd like to see them not recast Danny Rand, because they're talking about recasting Danny Rand as the Iron Fist, and I don't want to see that. I would like to have see Luke Cage come back, because they actually did a very good representation of Luke Cage in the comic books, even though they didn't say they made him more super soldier when Luke Cage is super soldier and mutant. They didn't say that in the Netflix original series, so I want them to bring back Luke Cage so that way we can explain that away.
We got Backwoods Collector, Backwoods, planting those trees so you don't have to. What's up?
Backwoods.
All right. Whoop. What? Thomas Jane rocked the Punisher. There you go.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Warzone movie?
It might have been the first one. Guys, I got to say, I was never a huge Marvel fan, but The Punisher was made so well. It was such a great movie. I mean, even if you guys are familiar with the wrestler Kevin Nash, when he was in the movie, he did very well too as the Russian.
Yeah. You're referring to the first Punisher movie.
Yes, I thought that was. I mean, Warzone was good, but I am a huge fan of the first one. I thought that they couldn't have done any better with that.
Yeah, one of my issues with the Punisher series was having John Travolta as a villain.
Yeah, well, he was normally known as, for Grease,
I was going to make a reference, but you took it.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
You're good. I was going to say, did he give you chills that were electrifying? You know, a comic book movie that I actually enjoyed that didn't get super popular, but for the time people loved the concept. Like, I never read the comics because I couldn't read the comics because of content, and I couldn't watch the HBO series because of content. But the movie was rated for kids, kids and teenagers and adults, was Spawn.
Spawn.
Yes.
I really liked Spawn. It was a great movie. They did very well at trying to keep things very comic book accurate. While if you go back and you hear some interviews nowadays with the writer of Spawn, the creator of Spawn, Seth MacFarlane. Yeah, Todd McFarlane. Sorry,
the best Spider-Man artist out there.
Todd McFarlane. He said there was things they wouldn't let him do, but he got away with doing them in the background. He really, that's the reason why they're wanting to do a new Spawn movie and redo it, is because they wanted to do some things that he couldn't do, partly because CG animation was not available at the time. He was given a certain budget, because while there was a lot of CG, just the way he wanted to do things, the type of animations he wanted to do was not available. And we're talking late 90s, early 2000s, right? And MTV let him do a lot more on the cartoon series that MTV ended up doing. Then they moved it over to HBO, and they got away with a lot more, particularly language-wise. And the Spawn comic books, especially when they first came out, they were just like a lot of comic books in the 90s, were not intended for kids.
Right. What is it? You know, I'm trying to remember the name of the actor, but the guy who played Spawn was in the Dark Knight movie.
Yeah, he was. And the thing was, is from what I understand about that, they were going to go a different way in the script. They were going to introduce Azrael if they got another movie, and they wanted to bring him in. The actor who played Spawn was actually going to come back and play Azrael, but then they decided to drop that entire line by the time it came down to it. And they introduced Bane. They introduced everybody. They were leading up to the man that broke the bat.
Michael Jai White is his name, and dude, guy has some chops, you know, acting chops, you know.
Yeah, but he was supposed to.
I know it'd be weird, but like well, it wouldn't be weird because you know how they recasted. They did a new Batman to take Batman's place. Michael Jai White would be an awesome Batman.
Well, see, that was the thought process. See, Azrael, when Bane breaks Batman's back, right? When Bane breaks Batman's back and Batman's decommissioned, well, they write it off that, oh, well, Bruce Wayne went off and went on from one of his little philanthropist things, chasing women or whatever, and Azrael takes over for Batman and starts pretty much bossing everybody around in the Bat family, you know, and his character is supposed to be a cop who turned vigilante. And it was a great storyline in the comic books. And if you haven't given a chance to read it, it's the sequel series to the Bane Batman series, the man that broke the bat.
Madam Mike says, what about Unbreakable? Unbreakable,
great movie.
Was a great movie. The one was, I can't remember the name, but the guy with like 50 different personalities was a good movie. And Glass was such a good movie.
Glass, we all and
Glass was the final of them.
Right. It was the multiverse of the movies where they brought in the characters.
And you know those movies are all tied into the Sin City franchise.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, they're tied into the Sin City franchise.
Did M. Night Shyamalan do Sin City?
I don't know who did the movies right off bat, but I do know the comic books, and those characters all tied in with the Sin City characters as well.
I did not know
same
that.
Universe, same part of the universe.
Oh, but yeah, but that series is good. My wife,
Unbreakable, Bulletproof.
Yeah, my wife loved the Glass series though. She didn't really, she thought Unbreakable was okay, but she loved the one with the guy with the multiple personalities. Can't remember the name of the movie.
Split,
yes. She loved Split. Really loved the characters. Loved the guy who played the main character did an awesome job with his multiple personalities and whatnot. And he did a good job explaining the story. But then Glass came out. Oh my Lord, she loved Glass. That was a really good series. In fact, she owns them all. That's why I'm feeling bad that I can't remember his names, because we own the movies. Unbreakable with Bruce Willis, yes.
Yeah, Unbreakable with Bruce Willis, right. Also Samuel L. Jackson was in that line of movies as well.
and you had
Madam Monk, yes. John Leguizamo did play Clowney in Spawn.
All right. So since we're sitting here talking about comic books that made movies purely by accident, nobody has mentioned one of the longest running franchises ever, and that is The Shadow. Who knows? The Shadow knows.
Alec Baldwin as the Shadow, coming to theaters in 1992.
And it was shorts during the 1940s before a movie. When you went to a movie, it was like 5-minute shorts.
Was it Alec Baldwin who played the Shadow in the movie? I remember watching the movie.
Yeah, it was one of the Baldwins. It was Alec Baldwin. Also John Lore, or John Lone was in it. Penelope, her name is so hard to say. Penelope
Penelope
Miller.
Or not?
And Penelope Miller, Peter Boyle, Tim Curry was in it. Ian McKellen was in it.
Man Among Us, Sin City was created by Tarantino Rodriguez.
Yeah, Tarantino Rodriguez. Yeah, that was the guy.
You know, it was a good movie back in the day because it was. Well, there's two good movies back in the day that were just good because they were strange. Comic book movies. You had The Rocketeer.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Rocketeer, it was before Disney ended up having their own comic book franchise, Marvel. But the Rocketeer, if they would have been able to keep the rights to that, it would have they would have had a great sequel because I loved that movie. I was praying for a sequel. Then it's like, oh well, Disney doesn't have the rights to it anymore, and I'm like,
Then there was Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy, also another Disney movie that turned into that was a comic book company that wasn't a Disney one.
Right. Yeah, both movies are classic. Dick Tracy, I'm not gonna lie, I favored a little more because the kid from Hook was in there. So, but like Rocketeer, The Shadow, all movies I saw in theater back in the day, loved them. Kid stuff, but you know. All that kind of washed away in my brain when I first saw Jurassic Park.
All right. Another comic book movie that I think we need to mention for the people who are like me, unlike you kids, us old people want to know about the Green Hornet.
Ooh, that was a good movie.
Back in the 1940s, it also started out as serial shorts before a movie, and then it took forever to get a movie off the ground. They had a few TV series. The Green Hornet was in the 1960s. They had a 1960s version of on TV, which crossed over to Batman and Robin, the 1963 television series. Bruce
Lee. That's right. Bruce Lee was in the original Green Hornet movie.
You know, was in the original Green Hornet. Kato originally in the 1940s was played by an actor named K.Yi Luke. The Green Hornet was played by in the 1940s, played by a man named Gordon Jones. And they are very much underappreciated when it comes down to the origins of certain comic book characters in film.
I really did enjoy the remake of the Green Hornet with Seth Rogen and not Seth. Is it Seth Rogen? Yeah,
Seth Rogen.
I can't remember the name of the actor.
It was humorous. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I've had Green Hornet on my list to watch for ages, and I just never got around to.
Like it is a good movie, like satirical at best. And if you like the movie Paul, you're gonna like the Green Hornet.
Yeah, I would suggest watching the 1960s Bruce Lee adaptation of the Green Hornet, where Bruce Lee plays Kato, and then watch the Green Hornet movie, because there are certain references that you will only get if you saw the 1960s TV series.
Paz Brown says, I'm here. What's up? Hey, Paz Brown. Paz, what's up? And Manamunk has a question that you might know. KJ, who is the Green Hornet related to?
Who is the Green Hornet related to? Oh, that's a good question. I do know that in some storylines in comic books, the Green Hornet does have relation to a certain Lone Ranger.
Hi-ho, Silver.
But I don't know. I don't know who else. I mean, pretty much they've always tried to connect characters in lines quite often.
Elijah Castle has a good question. So, did anyone like The Watchmen?
Oh yeah,
I don't like Rorschach's parts, but it could have been better. The movie was good. I loved it at first, but really, it was one of those movies that didn't pace itself well and just felt really long to me. And like, trust me, the Rorschach's character was the best part for me.
Okay, but that's how the comic book was written too.
Right.
You got to understand that was how the comic book was written. It was more of a the pacing was like episode. I mean, like issue to issue. Like some issues would be all storyline in The Watchmen, and then some issues would have like what little action there was. I mean, yeah.
Britt Reed is related to John Reed.
Yeah.
You got it, KJ.
Yeah.
Was that Tahoe Silver guy?
Yeah, the Lone Ranger. Yeah.
All right. See,
Yeah.
things you guys know I don't know. So yeah, that's why we're glad you're on the show, because you guys are smart.
Well, I've never been accused of being a smart fellow, but I've been always accused of a fart smeller. I mean, what?
Samuel DePolito. I hope I said that right. Hello, welcome. What's up?
Hello.
What's up?
Hey, Sam, how you doing?
Sam. You know what? I just realized you're gonna slap yourself, KJ, with the hands you don't have. But you didn't stream this on Twitch.
There was a reason for that.
Okay.
The reason was I forgot because I was too busy dealing with coffee.
No, okay.
And we were talking about an intense conversation about exactly what we started this conversation off on. So
Yeah.
there was I can only do three things at once: pay attention to cats, make coffee, and talk about awesomeness.
Right.
I did notice part way through, but I thought he's so awesome that there must have been a good reason he wasn't. And coffee is more important.
Right. Well, because yeah, we got to work on that. We need to stream you more.
Yeah, plus, I also don't want to steal the thunder.
You're the thunder.
I'll take the lightning. I'll take the lightning, but I won't steal your thunder.
You just made me to a joke.
How you doing over there, Dre?
Doing all right. How you guys doing? Everything good?
Right.
Hey, Dre.
What's up?
Do you read comics?
Wait, say that again.
What comics did you like to read when you were young? Or
Really
now?
quick. Have a good one, Monk.
So unfortunately, I never really got into a lot of comic books.
What about mangas or graphic novels?
No, yeah, I know it sounds weird, that I never really got into it and stuff like that. But I was always mainly like video games, trading cards, and like if we were to continue the topic of like movies, I always loved like the horror genre. And what's crazy about that is I don't even watch a lot of horror movies anymore. Like the movies today, believe it or not, the movies today, like in my opinion, that they've been making, especially a lot of remakes, have been kind of, I don't know, trash.
No, I agree with you. Like I make fun of my wife because she loves horror movies, right? And she's like, "Why do you take naps during movies? The movies we watch, like horror movies." I'm like, "Seriously?" I'm like, "Just listen to the music." She's like, "Why?" And like, the music tells you what's happening in the movie before it happens.
Like, I will tell you one movie that I truly enjoy that's actually not really horror genre that I do not ever want to see remade would be Jaws. I don't think it's remakeable.
Jaws was technically considered it was considered a romance, but not in the romance of romantic romance. The love affair between the shark and the shark hunter. So it was considered a romance, and it was actually a novel first.
Right. Elijah Cass says, "Need more Twilight Zone."
Indeed.
I love Twilight Zone.
And they didn't remake Jaws, but they did make the Meg.
They did make the Meg.
I wasn't really too impressed with Meg, and I mean I only saw bits and pieces of it, but again, I'm glad that they did not remake Jaws, and hopefully they never do. It's too much of a classic.
Here's the thing, right? Steven Spielberg still owns majority rights to Jaws, so he's very protective over certain IPs. Like I was surprised that Spielberg let loose on Indiana Jones.
Right.
You know
what? Jaws is such a classic. I just think it would suffer from modern day technology.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, the technology they had to defend against Jaws was not as prevalent as to what we have today. So I don't think it would have the same effect. Unless they made like some massive, humongous shark. Like Meg. Because Meg is short for Megalodon.
I don't know about Sharknado being a movie or anything, but I heard that was like a legitimate news report that was just broadcast to every theater.
Right.
Like, didn't the Sharknado actually happen? Like,
yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep up in chat. But yeah, look, to be honest, there's going to be movies based on movies that are like movies. Like Meg is kind of like modern day Jaws, and it's a fun flick. Like if you don't take it seriously, it's a fun flick. You know, it's action packed, does all the stuff you want. It's basically a sci-fi original kind of film.
And yeah, if you take it for what it is, it's not an atrocious movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I'll be honest with you guys, like I really enjoyed as a horror, someone who used to be a horror fan, the entire series of Saw with Tobin Bell.
Okay.
Years down the road, I don't think that could ever be remade. Like that is such a classic, like, or whatever you want to call it. Like it's a really good horror movie.
What are they up to now on Saw movies?
So I don't even know. I think they were supposed to make another.
Well, I know that the guy who did Saw, he said in an interview once, the guy who wrote the original script, and he came up with the storyline and everything, and he sat and he'll produce and direct and everything. He took like part of everything. He had his hands in everything on that.
Cow.
Wow,
there are 11 movies.
11 movies. He had a contract for 13 movies, so there's still room for more movies.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Saw for 13.
Saw was one of those low budget films that hit hard and made its existence. Yeah. And they could remake Saw. They could, you know, as long as they stick to the guns and not try to like make some exaberant tools that wouldn't exist in real life. You know?
Yeah, if they stick to the storyline, I think that it could be doable, whether it's with or without Tobin Bell. But you know, to like completely remake it, like, you know, from scratch and, you know, try to go into all this nonsense stuff, I don't think would be feasible.
Well, he had a contract for 13 movies in the series because he had originally wanted 13 movies. The creator of Saw wanted to have his entire series out there. Now the last movie came out before, right before like Hollywood started going like major woke. Sorry, I didn't mean to say the word, but it's true. And that was the last time you saw a Saw movie, was right before movies changed. Also, the pandemic kind of hit and changed everything. So if there's 11 movies, he still has time for 2 more movies before his contract says otherwise.
Right. And then think about this. If it wasn't for the good creativity, you know, Saw wouldn't come out, and they could do it again, you know, because look, the one thing that made Saw great is it didn't rely on technology. The first movie, it was a simple concept that just flowed very well in a realistic mind frame.
They made that movie it was genius the way they made the entire series.
Right, but they can. And you know what else is ingenious? Right, Hillbilly is the best in MTG, so I want to see if that skill goes to Duel Links. All right. But anyways, the next best thing to what we have is right here.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. Show is lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Hey everybody, it's time to close out the show and get to the shill section. I'm sorry, but it's that time.
Yep.
So we're gonna start going to the shill section and start talking about our channels and stuff. Dre, I need to make you a command for your channel, but you need to post your YouTube link in the chat.
Okay.
All right. There you go. And Kane Checker says this is not the best. And so while you do that, why don't you talk about your channel a little bit?
All right, guys. So as you know, it's Dre Games MTG. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are. As you guys know, it is pre-release weekend for Magic the Gathering. If you guys have not reserved a spot for yourself, you might want to do that. They're selling out really quickly. It's Final Fantasy for Magic the Gathering. And like I said, you know, with everyone who's been wonderful in the podcast here, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. And as always, I will see you guys in the next live.
All right. And if you would, and you could. Whoa, Gabriel Petrov. Whoa.
Hey.
The channel. You know who that is. You guys know who that is?
Yeah, this is the actor who played the fastest guy on the planet in the X-Men movies. His name was Gabriel Petrov. Oh wait, wrong character.
That's my child.
Oh, then he is the fastest man in the universe then.
That's right.
Because he's the son of Super Fast.
All right.
I was right then. I was right the first time.
Thank you, Gabriel Petrov. I appreciate that 100 billion%. I'll add you to the end credits. And with that, we're going to go into the next. Really quick, before we go to the next person, Dre, if you could, when you're pre-releasing, opening your packs, I'm not going to ask a lot.
Yeah.
Take pictures of your great pulls and just share them on Discord. I'd love to see.
Yeah, I definitely will. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to make a video. I call it MTG Unboxed. So I'm going to also make a video about what I pull.
Sweet. Would
Yeah.
love it.
So you guys need to check that out.
Yep. All right, now let's get to Hellwheeler.
Hey. All right. Tonight, it's a Friday, which means it's Question Chaos night. So we're having just a little chat about what we've thought of our games last week without having a restricted list. We're going to chat and come up with some ideas of alternate sort of styles of games, other sort of challenge modes we could try and make or play with the game, and just see what kind of fun little decks or ideas we could come up with.
Right.
Much. So if you've got an idea, maybe a different way you think Lolcow TCG could be played, some insane, deck ideas, or
I believe
decks
in
to go
you.
against or something, come along, have a chat, and
That's right.
join the fun.
All right, and check out our channel. Links in the chat and in the description. When Dre is more accustomed to the channel and more of a regular, he'll be put in the description too.
Oh,
And thinking of describing things, try to describe KJ Shilling.
Hello, this is the guy in a jar. He's a head. He's kept alive by a liquid called H2OG. Boom, 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 boom. That's right. Now, tonight, I will be playing a little bit of Mad Max because I took a break yesterday and didn't play. So we're going to play some Mad Max tonight. And then Wednesdays, as usual, procrastinating across the ocean with Jesse Hellwheeler and myself. This Wednesday, our theme is going to be our IPs. We're not talking about Jesse and me as a cat girl in a head in a jar. We're talking about IPs that we created, stories that we created, maybe a mix between Batman and a cat. Maybe we're going to be talking about alien slugs from outer space, and show you some of the art that I made for a graphic novel when I was a youngin'. We're going to make a Suno theme song for each of our characters that we made when we were kids. We're going to be talking about these IPs and whatnot. Also, I have a request for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. July 2nd of this coming July. That's 3 weeks and then one. We are doing my birthday party, and we're going to do a roast on me. That's right. You guys get to finally poke fun and make those jabs. You don't have to be a content creator. You can be a fan. You can be whoever. If you're a fan, make sure you contact Jesse or myself. Send me a 2-minute clip, 2-3-minute clip at the very most or minimum. However you feel, roasting me. And if you want to be a guest on my birthday show on July 2nd and roast me live, you can do that too. Contact Jesse or myself so we can schedule you. We are limited on seating, so please contact us. I would really love the roast. If you have a good jab at the jar, just don't crack it.
Oh, we're gonna crack it.
All right. Well, I'm not a walnut, and I'm not a nut to get out of the shell. But no. If you want to jab at me, and this is your one chance. It's your one chance, July 2nd. Be there in the chat. Be there on the screen. Send a little video saying happy birthday and your jar's too small for your head or something. I don't know what kind of thing, remember, Jesse's already got reserved that my jar looks like a rubbish bin.
Whoop. Sounds good. And now,
also, one last thought.
Oh, yeah?
We forgot to mention the most important comic book movie, and we're going to leave it at that. Phantom, starring Billy Zane and Christy Swanson.
Oh,
Boom.
The purple dude. All right. And thinking of Phantom Pains, we got Hillbilly.
hey, everybody. This afternoon around 2 o'clock, I plan on doing another arena stream.
Whoop.
And really, that's all I got going on today is just doing some more arenas. And got all daily 3 dailies done this morning, which is awesome. Pretty quick on doing that. But anyway, that's all I got planned for today.
All right.
Next week, Tuesday, which is when we get Final Fantasy on the arena.
Whoa.
And that's also Viewer Day, where our community day, the afternoon is Tuesday afternoon. So we'll still be doing the community afternoon where the viewers can come and battle me. And this time we can use Final Fantasy cards. Mm-hmm. But also on Wednesday, we're going to do another community afternoon. Because I missed this week's community afternoon. So we're doing it twice next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. And that's all that's planned for the channel so far.
Sounds good. Sounds fun. Make sure to check out Hillbilly's channel if you're not subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. Whoa. Now it's for Super Fast Tortoise right here. And tonight is Friday Night F&M. We're going to play some Commander. We're going to get Commander game together. Bracket 3 to 4. Yes, I'm playing Jurassic Park deck tonight. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So let's get that going. And with that, I want to thank everybody for being here on the show. Today, we got Hillbilly, Dre, Hellwheeler, KJ. What's up? Thank you. Everybody in chat, you rock, you rule. Thank you for being part of the show. And thank you, Mr. Petrov, for becoming a member of this channel. You rock, you rule. But I want to remind you, everybody, that you're awesome. You are loved. And if you can, brighten someone's day just a little, because you might be the change in need. And with that, my friends, we got to get to the outro.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show.